Hi friends, I am Dr. B.V. Rao of Usha Clinic and founder of the websites qmedicaldoubts.blogspot.in and raghavamedicaldoubts.com. Through these videos, I am providing the basic knowledge about the commonly occurring diseases, treatment and surgery details when necessary for the medical knowledge to general people and for reference to medicos. Today I am going to discuss about the hydrocele. Hydrocele is a collection of serous fluid in some part of the process vaginalis, usually in the tunica. It is of two types, congenital and acquired. Congenital hydrocele. Four varieties of congenital hydrocele are recognized. Vaginal hydrocele, it is very common. Infantile hydrocele, not much common. Congenital hydrocele and encysted hydrocele of the cord. Hydrocele may be formed by secondary hydrocele by excess production of fluid within the sac, by defective absorption of hydrocele fluid by tunica vaginalis. The cause is not clear, but reason damage to the endothelial wall by low infection is the probable cause. By the interference with the drainage of fluid by lymphatic vessels of the cord, by connection with the peritoneal cavity. Hydrocele fluid, it is an amber colored fluid with a specific gravity containing water, inorganic salts, albumin and fibrinogen, which confers the characteristic features. In long-standing cases, fluid contains cholesterol and tyrosine crystals are found. They are translucent and found above the swelling. Primary vaginal hydrocele, common in middle-aged or elderly men and rarely in children. It is common in tropical countries. Only complaint is the swelling, so may not seek medical help till get huge size. Usually associated with the inguinal hernia, but miss the hernia. Infantile hydrocele, not necessary to appear in infants. The tunica and the process vaginalis are distended up to the internal abdominal ring. The sac has no connection with the peritoneal cavity. Congenital hydrocele. The process vaginalis communicates with the peritoneal cavity with a small opening. When the patient is horizontal like lying, the fluid in the pouch disappears but returns when in erect posture. The hydrocele can't be emptied by pressure of fingers due to affected internal ring. Especially in bilateral cases, ascites or ascitic tuberculous peritonitis should be suspected. There is a smooth oval swelling associated with the spermatic cord. It is liable to be mistaken for an irreducible inguinal hernia. If with gentle traction upon the testis, the swelling moves downwards and becomes less mobile, the diagnosis of the hydrocele of the cord is confirmed. Hydrocele of the canal of Neuf. It occurs in females and cyst is in relation to the round ligament. Unlike a hydrocele of the cord, it always wholly or partially in the inguinal canal. Hydrocele N bisac. It is rare with the two intercommunicating sacs, one above and one below the neck of the scrotum. The upper lies superficial to or within the inguinal canal, and it may insinuate itself between the muscle layers. Complications of hydrocele. A rupture, usually traumatic and rarely spontaneous. Rarely cure may result after absorption of the fluid. In case of long-standing cases, it may occur tension of fluid within the tunica causes herniation through Daughter's muscle. Transaction into hematocele. It may be spontaneous or due to trauma. Calcification of sac sometimes occur in long-standing cases. Treatment. Tapping. The swelling is made tense by usual compression after transillumination. In a translucent area, a fine trocar and cannula is inserted and fluid is evacuated. After few weeks or months, the sac refills. Repeated tapping is followed by a little oozing into the sac. Deposit of blood on the walls of the sac in tides increase its thickness and so diminishes its translucency. After tapping, the testis should always be examined. Subtotal excision. It is the best means of ensuring against recurrence, and it is the only satisfactory method for thick-walled hydrocele. Procedure. An incision is made over the prominent part of the swelling, and the hydrocele together with the testis is separated from its coverings by gauze dissection. The sac is opened with a scalpel and split along its length. Each half of the tunica vaginalis is excised with a diathermy knife, a little at a time, close to its reflection onto the epididymis. Each segment held in a hemostat is likely to contain blood vessels, so it is ligated by transfixation. Complete hemostasis is essential. The testis is replaced. The wound is closed without drainage. Partial excision with eversion. Jebolis operation. This method is suitable for thin-walled hydrocele, sufficient of allowed to cut the edges, be united without tension behind the epididymis, so that the endothelial lining faces outwards. Secondary hydrocele. It is the effusion of fluid into tunica vaginalis that accompanies affection of testis, usually associated with acute or chronic epididymo-orchitis. It is always present in the syphilis and occasionally complicates malignant disease of organ. Secondary hydrocele rarely attains a large single. It is lax and does not interfere with the palpation of testis and epididymis. Post-herniorrhaphy hydrocele. This hydrocele develops after the operation for inguinal hernia, probably due to damage of the lymphatic vessels of tunica vaginalis, which pass with testis along the spermatic cord, superficial to blood vessels. Hydrocele of hernial sac. The neck of the hernial sac becomes plugged with omentum or occluded by adhesions, and a hydrocele results. Filarial hydrocele and chylocele. Filariasis leads to hydrocele in some tropical countries. In most cases, microfilaria are not discovered in nocturnal blood samples, nor there is history of filariasis. Usually, filarial hydrocele follows repeated attacks of filarial epididymitis and develop rapidly or gradually and can be large or small. Usually hilar bilateral. The presence of chyle is proof of the filarial hydrocele. Adult worms of Wuchereria bancrofti are found in the epididymis removed by operation. Adhesions are found between the contents of the scrotum. Treatment. Acute cases are treated by rest and aspiration. Chronic cases are treated by excision of the sac. Hematocele. Recent hematocele. It is usually due to trauma to small blood vessels during tapping or aspiration of a hydrocele. Prompt refilling of sac, pain and tenderness, and absence of transillumination confirms the diagnosis. Treatment. Urgent evacuation of blood and excision of eversion of the sac. If it is not followed, a clotted hematocele is resulted. Blow on the testis results in hemorrhage into tunica vaginalis. Treatment is evacuation of blood and eversion of the sac. Old clotted hematocele. Slow hemorrhage into tunica vaginalis can occur spontaneously and is painless and a history of trauma, nor pain in the organ. It simulates a neoplasm. Treatment. Orchiectomy is performed unless exposure of the organ leaves no doubt about the innocent nature of the swelling. As a rule, it is impossible to be certain of the diagnosis until the mass has been bisected. The testis is so compressed as to be virtually functionless. The responsibilities of removing it unnecessarily are not great. That's all about the hydrocele, and in the next video I will discuss about some other disease. Thank you.